So this video is about some real shit.
You know where to find real shit? In the letterbox.
It's a bit of a confession session, and it is about some of the bad things that I've done in my life and things that I have stopped doing. But there is one thing that happened recently that I do wish to apologize for, and I want to do better at this point going forward in my life. I don't want to do the same thing again, and that is cheating. So I have been exposed for cheating by my wife, Pauline. She did make a post on Instagram. For those of you who follow her, you might have seen it. And do I feel guilty for cheating? Absolutely. Do I feel guilty? Well, cheating is just a form of deception. And for those of you who have been watching my videos on morality, you know that I've talked about the true seven deadly sins, and deception is definitely one of those. So I've transgressed against moral law by being deceiving, by being deceptive, and I feel guilty for that, and I'm sorry for doing that. And all the while I was doing that, I didn't feel comfortable doing that. I don't like looking someone in the face and telling them a straight fucking fork tongue lie. And that's what I was doing, trying to cover my tracks, where I was going and who I was seeing and what I was doing. I was just lying to Pauline so that I could get what I wanted in life. Now, even though I did get what I wanted and I did feel some happiness for a couple of months, the price that I paid was that I had to go against my principles of being a moral person. And that is a steep price to pay. It's not worth it. Also during the COVID time, the convert time, I got a fine for breaking the protocol, but eventually I just gave in. I started wearing the mask just to fucking survive, and that felt almost as bad as this. Felt like I was betraying myself, like I was losing self-respect. And the same thing is happening with the cheating. I feel like I lose my self-respect because I would like to be a good person, but my actions show otherwise. So the integrous way of doing things going forward is either to continue the marriage with Pauline, be monogamous, be faithful, sexually faithful, and not lie, not deceive, not cheat. Well, it's all just deception, cheating, lying. It's all just different forms of deception. So no more deception going forward. No more trickery. No bullshit. No omitting information. It's either that or grow a fucking a serious pair of balls and get out of the marriage, go back to South Africa, be homeless on the street, struggle to find a job. I mean, I can continue a life here in France, but it'll just cost more money than it should because then Pauline would have to pay for this place and I would have to pay for my own apartment. And yeah, I'm not really too keen on that, just rotting away in a hole here by myself in France. It's already hard enough being here with someone else that you love. And I do love Pauline. I know it might seem like I don't love someone if I want to have sex with other people, but that's not the case. I do believe you can love multiple people, but I do also believe that you don't really love someone if you are willing to deceive them. So yeah, that's definitely. I don't even just believe that. I think that is a truth. That is an objective truth. If you're willing to deceive someone, you don't actually love them. And was I eventually going to tell Pauline the truth? Hell yeah. This lying shit made me feel uncomfortable. And you can see in my body language, I'm just rubbing my fucking head all the time because this is an uncomfortable topic to talk about. The lying definitely made me feel uncomfortable. I probably was going to spill the beans at some point. She just discovered the truth by going through my phone and connecting the dots. Yeah, I don't like lying. Even in my childhood, I didn't lie to my parents. And I think I said it earlier in this video. It was just a matter of desperation. I was getting desperate in my life. I felt cornered. I felt like I had no way out. And I felt like my freedom was being destroyed. I mean, here in France, as a foreigner, I don't have as many privileges as a local farm animal here, farm human, farmed human, and it's frustrating because I can't work in any other countries. I have to work here in France. I have to pay extra money every year or every 2 years so that I may have the working privileges to carry on here. And it's humiliating, and I don't like being a fucking slave. I don't like having to submit to other people's rules. Psychopaths and even the people that are closest to me, I don't like having to go along with their program. I want to live life according to my own program. I want to be free. Freedom is one of my highest values. So there's a bit of a conflict of interest here. But for now, I'm going to submit. I don't feel like I have much of a choice. I don't have the balls to endure the hardship of going back to SA and being homeless on the street, struggling to find a job that barely pays enough so I can have food and rent. But anyway, none of this is a justification for what I did. Wrong is still wrong, even if it's even if not being wrong is a hard choice to make. It's still wrong, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did. It was wrong, and I'm also going to use this video to apologize for the things that I did in the past that were also wrong. I went away on a fishing trip when I was 16, and I caught 30 fish. It was evil. It was horrible. At the time, I didn't really think much of it because I had been conditioned to be desensitized to the suffering of the fish. And it all started when I was a young child using a magnifying glass to burn stuff. I was burning ants. Well, before I burnt the ants, I actually asked my grandpa, is it okay to burn the ants? And he said, yeah, it's fine. And these people who are supposed to be role models in your life and supposed to teach you the core principles of morality, they often fail us. And this is the problem in the world today. It's the biggest problem. Parents don't raise their kids properly, and that's why we have a bunch of crazy monkeys doing evil shit all over the globe. And I was one of those crazy monkeys. I'm trying to be a better monkey, but it's hard. It's not always easy to do the right thing. It's not always expedient, but it is worth it because right is might. And there's this book by Richard W. Weatherall called Right is Might, actually. And he says, you always got to think, do, and say what is right, and refuse to think, do, and say what is wrong. And that only right action can bring about right results. And that wrong action cannot bring about right results. And that has been the case in my life. Every time I've chosen wrong action, I might win in the short term, but long term, I always end up failing. So from this point forward, I'm not going to lie anymore. I'm not going to cheat anymore. If I really want something, I'm going to endure the hardship required to get it. I'm going to put in the work required to get it. Yeah, so I apologize for the harmful things that I did to animals. Oh, yeah, I even burned a lizard with a magnifying glass once. I was so fucked up. That lizard was squirming and fucking moving around helplessly. And I just kept burning it. I was a sadistic, evil little fucking child. And I also bullied other kids as a child. And I got fucked up too. So I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry I was wrong. And I ate animals and their byproducts for the first 21 years of my life. So that was wrong. I'm sorry about that. I was wrong. Also, if I got out of this relationship with Pauline and had to go straight back to SA and be alone, I would definitely feel a lot of sadness in my heart. I'd miss the cats a lot. I'd miss the environment. And I would definitely miss Pauline. I would definitely cry. I'm not going to pretend to be a tough guy and say that I would feel nothing, because that's not the case. It would hurt a lot. And I don't know, maybe it'll take me months to get over it. Because I remember with romantic relationships in the past that weren't nearly as long as this one, I struggled for months to get over one of them. One of them in particular, I struggled for months. So this has been almost 9 years, and if it were to end, it would really be tough on me, I think. And I would definitely, would I feel some jealousy if she moved on and I saw her happy with another guy? Of course I would. However, despite feeling that jealousy, I'd be happy for her. I would experience that compersion for her, and I would want the best for her. And I would wish that she is with a guy that can fulfill all of her desires that she's been longing for, and have someone that is 100% compatible with what she wants. And yeah, that's one thing with long-term relationships. You might start out very similar, but as time goes on, your interests might change and you drift apart. You don't see as eye to eye as you did in the beginning. And that's normal, that's natural, that's understandable. We all get influenced by different things over the course of our lives. And I hope you can appreciate me being this genuine with you guys, sharing the type of stuff that very few people are willing to share on the internet. And I just thought it would be a good video to make, because I'm always talking about morality on my channel. And here I am transgressing against moral law and talking about a real life example. So what better the topic than to talk about something that actually happened in my life?